Hello and welcome to John's Ukulele Cafe. Today we'll be reflecting on covering the Daily Ukulele Yellow Book by Liz and Jim Beloff. We really hope you enjoy this conversation that we'll be having. We are partners in our music business, and I really enjoyed watching John complete this project over the last 5 years.
With your help.
What can I say? We're looking forward to this time of just talking together casually about some of our memories over the last 5 years. I hope you enjoy this interview with the both of us. So let's start with favorite collaborations. What's really cool about this project is that we've brought in probably 20 to 30 friends and colleagues that play other instruments or the same instruments. And I just wanted to know what some of your favorite collaborations are, and I'll share some of mine too.
Cool. So my favorite collaboration between the both of us was Under the Boardwalk. We always stop at a spot in Carolina Beach, and I was thinking ahead of time how it would be really, really fun to set up down there because there's a really large boardwalk that you can walk on, and just such a fun cover, and got to throw in a lot of creative ideas and kind of like set the stage. The director did her work, and it was really fun. So.
Yeah, it was a blast. That might have been my first bass tune with you, but I'm not really sure.
Cool.
Also, one of my favorites was Cabaret towards the beginning of the project, because I've never felt like super confident with my voice, but that song was going to force me to get comfortable with my voice and just to put it out there, even though I was very nervous about that. Yeah. But it was just so much fun, like digging through our old hats and just all the fun stuff we have, and you put a lot of editing work into that one.
Yeah. So, if you haven't seen a lot of our videos, if you're kind of new to John's Ukulele Cafe, some of them are just run-throughs and tutorials, and then other ones are more like productions. And I grew up watching a lot of sketch comedy, like Kids in the Hall and Saturday Night Live and stuff, and I was like, that would be so fun to make some of these videos like that. So the ones we mentioned so far are more like either those skits or like music videos that we've done. So
yeah. Any others that we've collaborated on, me and you?
I didn't write any down for just me and you, but we'll talk about it. There's a lot more that we've done. One off the top of my head for sure is California Dreaming that we did together. But that's definitely one of the favorites between us.
Sure. But yeah, stay tuned to the very end because we're going to reveal our top 10, and we don't know what each other has chosen, so that'll be fun.
So my favorite with friends that we have was Henry VIII, and we went to a castle in our state of Kentucky. It's called the Kentucky Castle, and we're going to talk more about that later, but it's just really, really fun. Probably one of the coolest settings that we've had for filming one of the songs. So
yeah, definitely one of my favorites with friends. George Mesa on the bass. He's one of our teachers at All Nuts for Music, our music school in Richmond, Kentucky, and he's an absolute world-class musician. And if you haven't checked out Limehouse Blues, look that one up. It's just incredible. And John and George played that at an assisted living facility and at the farmer's market.
Some more songs that I like collaborating on. We have two nieces, Sadie and Georgia, and my favorite with them is Zippity Doodah. It's a simple song, but it reminds me of also going to Carolina Beach, and we recorded that one there. So I think in that one, you can see the ocean right behind us. So seeing that video always makes me really happy, remembering times with family going down there.
My favorite with Sadie and Georgia is This Old Man. I think we would record a tune on New Year's Day, at least 3 or 4 years in a row, and then we got out of the tradition, but I think it was the second year we did This Old Man with them, and we just had so much fun putting that together. Highly recommend watching that one. There's some good sound effects.
So my favorite collaboration with a stranger was in Carolina Beach. And we were looking for a place to record Three Little Birds, and we just set up in a spot we thought would look really cool. And right next to us was a building getting work done, like construction. A lot of construction workers around. And we started setting up and about to play, and then these two workers came over. One of them's name was M. And M, if you're watching
E-M.
this, M, if you're watching this one's for you. We couldn't find your contact info after the video, but they jumped in, and M was like, I don't know, trading off with me. I was singing the song, and he was filling in all the spaces, and it was really, really cool. So if you haven't seen that video, you should check out Three Little Birds. He's kind of rapping in there. It's awesome. It's really,
pretty great.
You wouldn't expect that, so that was really fun.
Another one I want to mention that was really meaningful for John and I collaborating was Dream a Little Dream of Me. Mm-hmm. I've always loved that song, and we did that one like an ode to Pink Martini's version where they open up with a little bit of Clair de Lune, and I had to transpose it from D flat major to D major to kick us into the Daily Ukulele version. So I have a little bit of me playing that. It's one of my favorite pieces to play on the piano. And not only that, but we were taking tap lessons. I think it was the year before we recorded that. Mm-hmm. And we took about 2 months of lessons, and then COVID happened. I was like, oh, my dream is crushed. Always wanted to tap, and it was really meaningful to us because she would choreograph anything we wanted. So we came up with a dance for that song, and a few years ago she passed away. So that song has a lot of meaning to us.
Yeah. That was really fun. And Laura always loved dance and tap, so we got to do that on that song. I've got one more that I really enjoyed collaborating with, and this was with our rock band. This is the Quantum Leapers. We were all a band before this, but we were called something different. But this past year, we kind of, let's be the Quantum Leapers, like that TV show from the 80s and early 90s. And for that song, I think my favorite all over was just It's My Party. And there's a video of that you'll see, and I had an older student named Judy. She was a ukulele student, and we actually got to use her in the video. You know how it says Judy and Johnny showed up at the party?
That's her name.
Literally Johnny and Judy were at the party, and so Laura figured out how to stage us and make it look good for that video. And we got to play the song live later that day or evening, and so that turned out really, really fun.
Yeah, I think we waited about 3 or 4 years to record It's My Party, because
right.
We have to have this at a major celebration, and we were going to do it at a roller skating rink, but we decided to wait until my 40th birthday, and we were in this gorgeous venue that has stained glass, and it's just beautiful. So that one was really fun to make.
Yeah.
There's one more I want to share a memory on collaborating between people. So I was playing piano at a local university and working with like a gazillion students, and there was this one trumpet player, Araya, and she had this really unique sound, like just a beautiful vibrato. It was like a very old style of playing trumpet. And for Enjoy Yourself, there's these trumpet little riffs between the lyrics. And I was like, do you want to be on a video with us? And she was gung-ho. We had to notate it ourselves, so that's always a good challenge. So watch Enjoy Yourself if you haven't seen it. It's really, really clever, and I love how John used his little espresso machine for percussion, so it's pretty creative.
I enjoy coffee. Notice we're drinking coffee at John's Ukulele Cafe, always. So.
And John made me this cappuccino, and his cortado got very cold as we were setting up for this video.
That's fine.
But yeah, thanks for the coffee, by the way.
You're welcome. Yeah.
So I think we'll move on from collaborations, and I just thought it'd be kind of fun. As of right now, January 10th, 2026, it's kind of fun to see like how the videos have been viewed.
For the last 5 years. I think in a previous video I said 4 years, but if you count 2021, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's been 5 years. So
I think we'll move on to another portion of this interview. Let's just talk about like which songs seem to get the most views, because I always find that curious. So do you know which videos got the most views, John?
I think they're at the beginning of the playlist. So the Daily Ukulele playlist with all the songs. I think it's the first 4 or 5 videos on there. And so the very first one is Are You Lonesome Tonight?
That got almost 4,000, and it's January 10th, 2026. Yep. And After You've Gone. But after that, Everybody Loves Somebody, that tutorial
Did really well.
It did really well in the very beginning, so that one has always stayed up there.
That one is at a coffee shop, and to me, it's not the best tutorial I've done. It's kind of noisy outside, but I think the setting was perfect, and I would love to do many more of those videos at a coffee shop and kind of feature them. So that's something that might be coming in the future. There is another one, When the Saints, did really well. I didn't write down how many views it did, but I think over 2,000 or 3,000 views. So I think everybody liked the beat of that song, and there was bass ukulele on there as well. So try to remember that too. Add some bass along with everything and maybe some percussion.
So what tools or equipment have really improved your videos over the last 5 years?
Yeah, so I did upgrade a camera on my computer, so that's really helped. I'd love to get another one now, and now that it's been many years later.
You looking for sponsors?
Oh yeah, no, we'll take sponsors. I do have a Patreon, and I'm going to be putting tabs up there twice a week for the Daily Ukulele Blue Book. That's coming. We'll talk about that later. And then I also have some books and collections of pieces on there too. So we'll put a little link up there where you can see that. But another tool that's really helped me has been these mics. These DJI Micro Mini mics have been really great. And I don't have to worry about too much noise in a room. It like cancels out noise very well. It has a really bright sound for the ukulele. Really fun. I'm still learning how to use them, but it's made our job so much easier, ridiculously easier. So, and then my last tool, I don't have it in front of me, but it's a speed editor. I use DaVinci Resolve video editing software. We both do. On some videos, like California Dreamin', I remember thousands and thousands of mouse clicks that I had to do. And the next day, my arm was really sore and tight. I was like, I have to find a way to edit video down where it's not going to kill my hand, because I need it for playing ukulele. And I looked around and I discovered this little keyboard, and I just used about 2 buttons on there and the wheel, and that really, really saved my hands. So, and it saves a ton of time as well. So if you're looking to edit some videos, I really recommend DaVinci Resolve. And then if you spend a little bit, you get the speed editor and the professional version of DaVinci. And this is not a paid for advertisement. It's just stuff that we like. So
John, do you have a favorite comment that anybody has made on a video?
I don't have a favorite comment per se on a video, but I was approached by someone that wanted to start a YouTube channel, and it's called My First Ukulele. And shout out to My First Ukulele. They're from Queensland, Australia, and the owner was interested in me making some instructional videos for them. So in addition to the Daily Ukulele project, I do make some videos for them every month. So you can go ahead and check that out, especially if you're a beginner. They do a really great job with their videos and their website. There's a lot of reviews on there. So when I was approached, I was like, ooh, this led to some work. So that was a very favorite comment of mine, at least in my inbox from my email. So
one comment, I remember it was in the first 8 or 9 videos. I can't remember which one. This was in the midst of COVID, like within the first year, and somebody said these videos were really improving their life, because it was a really hard time for a lot of people being isolated or forced into isolation. So that really warms your heart when you make content, and it makes a difference in someone's life. So.
Yeah, I remember back in those early days, so back when we started, I think it was 2021, and we were clipping along about a video a day for a while. And not all of them were, just run through the song and done. So some of them were more elaborate. And after a while, I think we discovered we needed to space out the videos a little bit. We didn't have to get it done in a year. But you can get it done in a year. We're reposting a video every single day this year, and starting on day 1, going all the way through day 365. And you don't have to make a video out of it. So you probably could get it done if you'd like. And we're going to be posting those up on the Facebook group, so you can check that out.
So the Facebook page for John is also John's Ukulele Cafe, where we mainly post things, and then you have a few groups that you manage on Facebook too.
That's right.
So looking back to January 2021, would you change anything about how you started, or if you could do it all over again?
Yeah, I think going back to what I was saying about making a video every day, I would definitely plan to spread them out a little bit. And I think now I'm going to be doing about 2 a week. and that will take us about 3 years to get completed in total. So I would just say pace yourself and don't rush through it. Do the best job you can, and but yeah, that would be my advice to myself back then when we got started. So
yeah, I think it's because it was during COVID. Mm-hmm. We had a lot of extra time, so it worked out for us.
Yeah, for sure.
At that time. So was there anything disappointing to you in the midst of this project?
So only a couple of things, and it's not a knock on the books at all. It's just some personal things. The very first thing, I wasn't always a fan of the keys that were chosen for some of the songs, but I understand why they were chosen. They were chosen because Jim said that the melody, if it's from middle C to the octave C higher than that, that's like kind of the golden range for singing for most people. So I totally get that. Now, what that does when you play a song, especially from like the Beatles, it kind of makes the energy lack quite a bit. Mm-hmm. If you listen back to Beatles songs, they're usually at their higher range of their singing, and it really brings a lot of emotion and more volume too. You have to really take a deep breath and really go for it on those. So when it's a little bit lower, it's a little lackluster. Mm-hmm. And also it's easier to not hit the pitches because in the lower range, there's a lot of room for mistakes. So that's my one critique, at least for the melodies in those keys. And then the only other thing I had, I'm a child of the 90s, and I did love learning a lot of the songs that I didn't know. I would say I didn't know maybe 7 out of every 8 song in that book. So it was a lot of learning new songs, which was really fun. Mm-hmm. But I also wish that we had some songs from the 90s in there too. But the newer books, especially the purple book, is going to have some songs from the 90s and 2000s in there. So I'm looking forward to discovering those. Mm-hmm. And then possibly even putting out some of my own songs or song tutorials this year, even outside of the books. My very first song that I ever did on my channel, and it blew up, it did really well, was Ocean Man by Ween in the 90s. And I think that's still the #1 video I've put out. And nobody else had covered it. So I'm looking for those golden gems to cover in the future too. So
I'd like to share one disappointment from the Yellow Book. Okay. And I think we covered Let It Be with our band several years back. And it was disappointing to me that the book doesn't go into the guitar solo, but right. It makes sense.
Right. I think.
But of course, it's a really letdown when you end the song before that.
Right.
So
I know you had to get the arrangements to mostly one page in the book, and you're kind of getting the essence of every song. You're not getting the whole chart. So if you're looking for the whole chart, you can look on the internet and find full runs of those songs. Yeah.
All right, so now it's time to talk about what's your favorite Beatles song that you covered in the Yellow Book, because there were quite a few.
Okay, so I think my #1 is Help. And we filmed that mostly at one of our favorite lakes in Kentucky, Cave Run Lake. We really enjoyed going there. We still go there in the summers. It's really, really fun. And our friend Aziz would always go with us. And so he was training to be a paramedic, and we're like, ooh, we need a lifeguard for this. And I think Aziz would be perfect for this. And so he was in the video. We made it a pretty grand production for our low budget sensibilities. And I got to learn, I think, almost all the parts in that Beatles song. Yeah. So I took a day at the studio and I did everything. I did, the vocals, the backup vocals, the bass, the guitar parts, drums, everything I could think of that was in the original. And I had to change the key of those to make it work. So that was really rewarding when that part was over with. And then we got to do the video portion of it and get really creative with that. Kind of like an imaginative, I wish I was at the beach right now or the lake right now in the middle of winter. And I believe we filmed a little bit. And then 6 months later, when it was warm enough, we went to the lake and did the rest of it. So I was sitting on that footage for so long, and then we were able to finally finish that.
That was taking up a lot of the Google Drive. Yeah.
That's right. And then one cool thing that came out of that is we have many friends that are artists, and we asked him to make a painting of the scene on the lake. And so we have that forever in our living room when it's summertime, the 3 of us out in the water. And one other funny thing I'm going to share about that is Aziz was running to save us in the water because we were needing help. and the rocks are really slippery around there. There's no beach. It's just big boulders out by the water, and he was running to come and save us, and one of the clips, you can kind of see it, he slips right before he gets in the water, so he probably needed our help after falling in the water right there, but that we all laughed about that a lot.
I really enjoyed the cover you did of A Hard Day's Night, because you also played like every single part, and I love the solo. You did the same thing that the Beatles did. You want to explain that?
Yeah, so they were playing with recording techniques, I think. And if you really listen to it, it's pretty fast. The solo is quite fast.
This is the guitar solo,
the guitar solo. And if you listen to it, it also sounds a little bit not quite right. And so I did my research, and it seems like they recorded it half as slow and then also an octave lower. And then what they did is when they went to record it, they sped it up twice as much. And what that did is raise it the octave, and then it also played twice as fast. So I did the same thing in the thing, and it worked out pretty well. I didn't know how it would turn out, but it turned out very similar to the original song. So.
All right, so is there a song you're most proud of covering, whether it's your vocal abilities, ukulele abilities, or anything like that?
So I think the video I'm most proud of was California Dreamin', and we had covered Cabaret slightly before that, and I was pretty happy with that. And then I was looking ahead at California Dreamin', and I was like, I think we can do that. I think we have the location. I think we have the instruments we need for this. Laura also plays flute very well, and there's a flute solo in that song. And I was like, I think this is going to be awesome. And we kind of plotted it out how we'd like to do it, and there were a lot of days, pretty bad weather, and there's some snow coming down, and we have access to a church. That's where our work usually is. And so we had the run of the church to kind of do whatever we needed to for this video, as much time as we needed. And it turned out really, really, really well. If you look at the cover of California Dreamin' by the Mamas and the Papas, they're in a photo in a bathtub. And so we were set up in the bathtub for that video. So if you're wondering, if you weren't familiar with the Mamas and the Papas, you're probably like, why are they in the bathtub with their sunglasses on? So there's that, and then Laura did a really great job on the flute solo. So you can check that out. We were experimenting with a lot of video techniques and multiple things on the screen at once. So that's my favorite earlier video that we did. I'm pretty proud of how that one turned out. So
awesome. Yeah. Was there a song that you weren't excited about covering?
Yeah. So kind of near the beginning of the project, there were some songs, some really early songs. Not that I disliked the early songs, but one of them was Babyface. And I was like, how am I going to do this video? Like, I don't know if I can do it with a straight face. And so I said, why don't I just kind of do a play on what these old songs would have sounded like? And so we were experimenting with some of the video effects and filters on Apple, and one of them was black and white, and it looked like it was on film, and it even changes the audio. So, baby face, you got the cutest little baby. So that's kind of where we went with it, and I think I could actually do it then. I could become a different character, and it worked out.
And you also had all the 1920s like attire, the hat, the suspenders. So
that's right. So usually that's what I do if I'm uncomfortable in a situation, is if it's performing, then I become somebody else, and it's fine. So it's a great escape.
Cool. So. I think for me, he said, I can't sing crazy. So will you do it? And I'm not super comfortable singing that song, but I gave it my all. And I'll never sing it again. But I helped you cover it.
Going back to the least favorite things in the Daily Ukulele book, I have more of a tenor voice, or a higher tenor voice, and a lot of the songs that are in the key of G or go down to that G below middle C, I have a hard time down there. So I have to get super close to the mic, and I can't sing very loud. So I try to avoid those as much as possible, and it worked out much better for Laura's voice, for sure.
But it was still pretty low for me.
Yeah.
And It was funny in the beginning when you were covering a lot of those keys that were uncomfortable. You would wake up really early when your voice is lower, and sometimes at like 6 in the morning. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Or if you were sick, it was you.
Yeah. Sometimes I would wake up and I would have a little stuffiness, and I was like, oh, I have that one song that I haven't done yet, and it's really low. Oh, I think I can do it, and my voice would drop a couple of notes in the morning before I, had my morning coffee and stuff. And so if you notice, some of them, my eyes are really puffy and I'm barely there, but I'm able to get the notes out. So it worked in my favor for a few of the songs.
So do you have any memories of a video that was difficult or like really a challenge to make?
So one of the ones that was really challenging was ukuleles are the best. Now, it didn't have to be challenging, but I put it on myself to make it challenging. I grabbed all of the ukuleles in our house, and maybe from the studio, and I think at that time I had 15 or 16 ukuleles. And I had the idea that I wanted to feature the different sounds or the tonalities of different ukuleles. So soprano, concert, tenor, baritone, and bass. And so they're all in the video. And at a certain point when I recorded all these, I was listening to a click track, so everything would line up fine, and that was fine. But getting it into the computer and then hitting play and having the computer try to get it all together without skipping, it was a long process. I had to put them all in there, and then it wouldn't let me play it because it took too much of the RAM of the computer. And so I had to click complete video and have it build it and then watch back. Did it work?
Like a bunch of times.
And oh no, this part didn't work. And then I had to do it again, and I had to do it again, and probably like 10 to 15 different times all the way through that. And eventually I got it. I just had to take notes all the way through. So that wasn't my favorite thing that I had to do. It was cool how it turned out, and it actually sounds a lot like a ukulele orchestra or an ensemble, that type of thing. I didn't think it would, but it actually did. So that was pretty neat to see that turn out. And then my least favorite thing to happen this year, but it happened with really good timing, was I finished my 365th video, Pomp and Circumstance. And then the next day, I was just in the middle of probably watching a YouTube video or something. My laptop dies. So my laptop was probably like, my job here is done. Power down. And so I did have a backup laptop, not the one that I make videos with. So right now I'm making videos on a different computer, my wife's computer.
So nice.
So that was kind of a funny side note. Not funny for me, but I was able to send back that part of the computer that I had just replaced 5 months earlier. So hopefully it'll come back soon and I can start making videos again. So
that's pretty great timing, though.
Yeah.
So if you didn't know this already, John plays a ton of instruments, and there's been a countless number of videos where you covered every instrument for the song, like drums, guitar, ukulele, bass, extra percussion, and vocal. And I mean, I'm very biased here as your wife, but I think you do an amazing job at all those. So I'd like to share some of my favorites that you've done all the parts, and definitely let's hear your favorites first.
Okay. Well, I only wrote down one favorite, and I mean, I do have a lot of favorites, but if I had to pick one, it would probably be Help once again. So I always just wanted to learn how to play all the parts in that song. We had found a Beatles like complete songbook, and it has all the parts written out in score format. And I saw that and I was like, I have to have that. The challenge is that the Daily Ukulele book changes the key a lot. And so, if I learn it, then I have to, in my mind, transpose that to the key of Daily Ukulele. Make sure it sounds good. So not only do you learn the original, but then moving it to another spot and making sure that actually sounds good together. That's a challenge for sure. But.
Cool. Yeah, of course, love the Beatles ones, but some others that I really enjoyed, some of the earlier ones like Bye Bye Blues. Mm-hmm. I just thought that was really cool how you put that one together, 8 days a week, also great. And the wig in that is pretty funny too. Yeah, he has a ton of wigs. So Feeling Groovy, we'll come back to that one later, but like that was just absolutely wonderful for me.
Really fun.
I love Simon and Garfunkel.
One of those songs that I, again, was like, I have to learn the original part and see what happens. So
yeah. Oh, a few others where you did everything was on Broadway. Mm-hmm. And that was really fun because we were on Broadway down in Berea, Kentucky. Very small Broadway, but
Yeah.
it was really fun to
No
make.
neon lights down there, probably.
Oh, the irony.
Yeah.
So did you have a favorite location of any video that we've made?
I'm definitely going to say the Kentucky Castle. So that was my absolute favorite when we filmed Henry VIII. And when you have that much space and it looks beautiful already, really your imagination is your limitation. So if you can dream it in a space kind of like that, it's easy to see why directors go on location in certain spots, because once you have that location, it's amazing what you can do with it if you can dream it up. So.
Oh yeah, and we'll be coming back to that video later for sure. My favorite location of a video we did was this little light of mine. This was last October. It was the most perfect morning. The sun was beaming on the porch of this cabin. It was an Airbnb in Albany, Ohio. We had to drive like 5 minutes down a driveway. Really rocky driveway. We brought our dogs on this trip. So we were just sitting out in the sun, and I was like, it's the perfect time to cover this little light of mine because this beautiful sun coming in. I mean, we were like sunbathing all morning. And Mary and Sam were with us, so I think they're both in the video, and that was just a beautiful memory. And we were about to go back home, so it was a fun way to capture where we stayed for those few days. We were up there for the Pawpaw Fest. So next, this is a favorite part of mine. We used to cover videos with Snapchat in the beginning, but we only did a few with Snapchat because it's a lot of work to get it into the final product. But we were having fun. My nieces and sister were using it, so I was trying to get to know how to use it. Do you have a favorite one that we use with Snapchat?
My favorite is Drunken Sailor. We also did, outside of the Daily Ukulele book, we did Bruno. We Don't Talk About Bruno. And that one was a ton of work because we did all the characters in there.
That was so much fun.
That was a lot of fun. But out of the Daily Ukulele book, I would definitely say Drunken Sailor. We lived next to a university, and we were able to have one of the students up there that played violin and fiddle.
Devin Smith.
Devin
Shout
Smith,
out.
thank you so much. He added to that video and made it, I feel like it really needed that element in there. And then we just put some cool pictures on the sides to fill it out, because I think, is it Snapchat? Yeah, Snapchat only allows you to make a vertical video. And so we had all this other screen real estate. And so, I had to put a pirate flag up there, and, it could just be really, really silly and a little inappropriate, but not terribly. That was a ton of fun. So.
Yeah, super fun. I really enjoyed making By the Beautiful Sea.
Yeah.
Of course, because I got to be a part of that one.
Yeah, Laura was the
Mermaids.
mermaid in that one, so it was fun.
That was so fun.
Yeah.
Right. Do you have a video of your favorite live performance?
I don't know if I have a favorite live performance. I'll get to that in just a second, but I have favorite locations that I like to film in. So our favorite lake, I talked about before, Carolina Beach. That's always really fun. Coffee shops in general. I just love being at coffee shops and doing tutorials or run-throughs there. That covers a lot of videos that we've been at. One outside of the Daily Ukulele Yellow Book. One time we did Thriller outside of Malama Cafe in Carolina Beach, and that was a lot of practice beforehand for that one. It's very, very, very difficult to do it convincingly. But I really enjoyed learning that, and very challenging to sing and play like a rhythm part as well, and sing and play bass as well.
Isn't that in the Blue Book?
It is in the Blue Book. So in the Daily Ukulele Leap Year book, you'll see Thriller in there, and so I'll probably use the footage from when we played there for that song.
And that was really fun to play on the bass. That was like the most fun thing I've ever played.
Yeah.
And I'm not claiming to be skilled at all on the bass, but it was fun to learn regardless. So my favorite video that we did live performance of, was with the Quantum Leapers. We did this last fall, was You've Got to Hide Your Love Away. And it's because we got a new little keyboard to take on the road. It's a little easier to pack. It's called a Roland Go Keys. Yeah. It's a 61 key keyboard, but the sounds are excellent. And it had this great flute ensemble sound. And I was like, we have to use that at the end of You've Got to Hide Your Love Away. Yeah. And it had a great vibe that day. It was beautiful outside, and it had
75 or 80 degrees outside.
It was just kind of a wonderful environment that day. So every time I watched that video, and the reverb sounded, oh yeah, we got a new speaker system, and yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
So do you want to share all of the instruments that you used in the Yellow Book project?
Now, I won't remember all these, so I'm going to read it. So if I look down, that's why. So, ukulele, of course, or multiple ukuleles in a video. Bass or ukulele bass. Drum set, electric guitar, acoustic guitar, marimba, snare drum, vibraphone, cello, glockenspiel, tap shoes, wobble board. That was in the Timey Kangaroo down sport, and an espresso machine. So those are all the ones that I am aware of that we use. I'm sure there's probably more. Accordion, thank you. Fill me in if I missed something.
Those were the days. We changed it to those were the dates. But
multiple percussion instruments, I know. But those are all the instruments that I had written down that we had used in the videos, but there's probably more. My electric ukulele, I don't know if I said that already. I got that maybe a year or two ago, and I was able to use special effects on that for under the boardwalk. Like you'll hear some really cool harmonics and stuff like that I was able to do once I got that. So shout out to Flight for having some great electric instruments. Laura's got the Pathfinder bass, and I've got the Pathfinder tenor electric ukulele. So.
Oh, and there's trumpet too on the last song. My brother-in-law was like, I want to be in a video with you guys.
And Enjoy Yourself, there's trumpet as well, as we mentioned.
Yes, so trumpet for sure. Yeah. All right, so we want to share some totally random memories with you on creating these videos and covering these songs. Why don't you start with one?
So my memory was going to be at Carolina Beach in M, the construction worker guy that had come up. So that was my favorite kind of random occurrence that happened when we were about to make a video. So that's my absolute favorite. So
cool. You don't have any other random memories?
I'll go after you.
Okay. Just a few on making the most out of every situation. I think it was the first year or the second year, we were just hanging out in the living room by the fire, and we knew that the power could go out. There was potential. I was like, it would be really fun to cover close to you. Because we already, kind of close on the couch, and I love Karen Carpenter, and that one gets a little low, but it was sweet. We had Sam with us, our little dog, and that was kind of fun. I know it's pretty dark and hard to see us, but
we had
I
our fireplace on, and then we had a little lantern, and that's all that's in that video. So if you're wondering, like, why are they in the dark? And the picture quality isn't great. We didn't have a way to do it great in the dark, but that and I think Kumbaya, those are ones that are kind of dark outside, and we were by a fire for that one. So there's just some songs that I felt like fit perfectly, or fell into place perfectly, just with the location that we had, and that was California Dreamin' for me, and also Henry VIII. Like everything was, we pre-planned, and then we found some like really fun things also to use. Just happened to work out, and it's sometimes it just really, really works out, and that feels really good when it's done.
Yeah.
So.
One song that we really had to plan in advance for was Love Potion No. 9, because it talks about Madame Ruth. And I have an Aunt Ruth in North Carolina. So we planned a trip, especially to go into the Emporium in Thomasville that she owns. And it's this giant building with
antiques.
I mean, it's full. It took us like 4 hours. And every time I saw something that might fit into the video, I was like, let's get this. And we just incorporated a lot of those things into the video. That was one of your really big projects. And I love Aunt Ruth. She's one of my favorite people on earth. So I was just really excited to do that and then see her on that trip. So another thing, just a random memory, I wanted to cover sunrise, sunset, but using the sunrise and the sunset in the same video. So we were in Hilton Head, South Carolina, on my 39th birthday, I think. And it's like, I want to cover this song on my birthday. The weather looks like it's going to be great. And we had a lot of fun with that video, and it kind of goes in and out of 2 locations. But that was also a very beautiful, special day, and the beach there was gorgeous. So we try to take advantage of those situations.
Yeah.
Do you have any memories of anything being dangerous when we covered a video? Because I got one.
I can't remember. I know I attempted to play ukulele and skateboard, I think.
Several times.
So that made it into a couple of videos, I think, or one of the videos. I think I was Surfing USA.
And Under the Boardwalk.
And Under the Boardwalk, yes. So.
Yeah. When we were covering On the Road again, I think I was driving and recording you. I don't recommend that.
Yeah.
I don't recommend that at all. But I was like, we're on the road again, and you got to cover it. So we're on a long stretch, and there's not a lot of people around.
Yeah.
But I don't recommend that. Yeah. Don't try that at home, kids. So are there any songs that you didn't know before that you really love now, just from covering this yellow book?
Yeah, so one in mind is My Blue Heaven. I think I had heard of the movie My Blue Heaven before, but I didn't know the song. And after listening to it a lot, like getting ready to play the song or do a tutorial on it, I just really liked it. And then reading the story about how it came about, it's kind of like one of those random occurrence things. I think how they were able to muster the musicians for that. I think they had a guy that played a little bit of keys, and then they found somebody that played cello at the moment, and then it just all kind of fell into place. And so not just the song itself, but just the story behind it and kind of how it came to be and how it became a very popular hit. I still like that song. And also the ukulele sounds a little bit different in that one because it's raised up at least a step or a half step higher than normal. And so it gives the soprano ukulele a little bit sweeter, brighter tone to it. So I enjoyed that. It was really, really fun.
Cool. I think for me, the Daydream by the Lovin' Spoonful.
That's a good one.
And I feel like there's another Lovin' Spoonful in the Blue Book that we covered already. I did not know, I had heard some of their songs, but then after Daydream, I looked them up, and they were one of my favorite groups ever.
Summer in the City.
Yeah, Summer in the City. I love their sound, and their songs are just, they resonate with me.
Yeah.
And also have a newfound love for the Everly Brothers. And after covering Let It Be Me, I really dove in and started that was the Everly Brothers, and we got a vinyl, and just I really love their harmonies and their songs. And Let It Be Me I actually really liked the key of that one in the yellow book, and it fit my voice pretty well. But yeah, I'm really glad Jim included.
I think we also discovered that they are from our area, their family is. Had no idea about that either, and somebody told us that, and they're like, oh yeah, they're just less than an hour away. That's where they grew up or something. It's like, wow, that's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Another song that I really like is I'm Beginning to See the Light, and I'm embarrassed to say I don't know who wrote that song.
I know Nat King Cole is famous for singing it, but I'd have to look it up in the book who wrote that one.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We often will cover that and Daydream when we're at farmers markets or cafes.
Yeah.
So we're approaching our top 10 list, and we have a different list, and we haven't seen each other's.
Yeah.
So I want to ask John, what is the favorite thing that came out of this project for you?
Yeah. So I would definitely say just discovering songs I haven't heard before. And then, going about your life, you might be going to the grocery store, or, you're in a restaurant or watching a movie.
Watching It's a Wonderful Life.
Watching It's a Wonderful Life. And then you're hearing 8 to 10 different songs that you've covered in the book, and you're like, I actually know what that is. I can name that song off. Yeah. And so these are classic tunes for sure that are going to keep coming back. And if you know the songs, then it'll click with you, and you're like, wow, this is cool. I know a little bit about these songs, and I could play them on the ukulele right now if I had one with me. So that was probably my favorite thing about the project, other than just getting better at playing, like singing, strumming, doing solos, that type of thing, and getting to make music together. So I think the quote on the Daily Ukulele books is like, in general, though, it's something like play the ukulele every day, and it'll make you a happier person or something like that. And I think there's a little bit of truth to that. If you play an instrument every day, you're going to find some joy in what you're doing. So, how about you? What's some of your favorite things from this project?
Definitely just having the memories of playing with you and, like you said, learning all of those songs, but just being able to make music with other people and share that with others. I know it's brought a lot of people joy.
Yep.
And yeah, just creating memories.
Yeah.
Memories with family, especially like our nieces, Sadie and Georgia. We've done a lot of videos with them.
Like a digital scrapbook.
Yeah.
Over the last 5 years, you can go back.
Yes.
Look how small they are, or
yeah. And I used to scrapbook a lot, but now that all the photos are on the phone and videos, it's like this is a better way for me to acquire the memories.
Yeah. Now it's time for the top 10 list. Let's find out. Let's go. Right. We'll go by number and we'll go back and forth. So.
Cool.
All right. So my number 10 is Love Potion number 9.
Oh.
So 10 sounds like it's a high number, but out of 365 songs, it is not a high number. But that was a really, really fun video to get to make. And that's always one of the top songs that are requested at our daily ukulele meetups that I do. The Tukers, shout out to you guys, Tuesday night Ukers. And that's always one that we'll cover, most months. So
that did make my list, but it's the next one. But number 10 for me was Feeling Groovy. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, maybe that should have gone way up. But I wasn't really involved on that one. So it got number 10. Yeah. And I love your costume on that and the fact that you're running in the park with Sam. Yeah. Sam's our elderly dog now. He's 14. Yeah. But
he doesn't run anymore. But
yeah. And he's such a sweet pup. So I love that you included him. And I just love your look in that one. And I love the song.
Yeah, cool. So that one's my number 9. Because I had a costume, I thought that stepped it up.
It's your number 9.
That stepped it up a little bit. So my number 9 is Feeling Groovy. And yeah, that's a really, really fun tune and one of the many costumes that I have. And we live right next to a park. And I think nobody else was there at the time. So we had a run of the mill. Like we got to use the whole space as wanted and just terrorize the park with our ukuleles. So that was my number 9.
So my number 9 was Love Potion number 9. That was not on purpose, by the way. So I think just being able to discover, like running, we found a ukulele like this big, and you played on it in time for the song. We found a toy piano, and
we found a Love Potion.
Yeah, we found number 9, a lot of weird bottles in there.
For sure.
So just being able to incorporate our creativity on the spot and get those instruments, that's why I had to make a top 10 for me.
Yeah.
And the piano outside of the store. It was like just a piano sitting outside under a cover, of course, but it was painted and...
Yeah, you'll hear that at the end of the video where there's like the different things you can click on, like the playlist for daily ukulele and stuff like that. So.
Your number 8?
My number 8 is Enjoy Yourself. Oh. It's later than you think. So that was set in Newport, Kentucky, and we were at or around Carabello coffee shop, and it had that's the song that had the espresso machine on it. It had really great trumpet on there as well. So that's my number 8.
Nice.
Yeah.
I didn't include that one. I should have. It was such a hard decision to make. Number 8 for me was Proud Mary. Because especially we have an establishment here in Richmond, Kentucky called Proud Mary. It's on the river, and it's a live music venue as well as a huge restaurant, Cajun style food. And we got connected with the owners, and they said we could come in and make the video there. And I was excited because I got to do harmonies and bass, and that's always a lot of fun for me.
Yeah.
And I just thought the video turned out pretty cool for that one. It was fun to make.
It was fun. Yeah. So my number 7, we haven't talked about this video in this interview yet, but my number 7 was Those Were the Dates, My Friend. So that was all about our friend Aziz from Saudi Arabia. And he would come and visit and would bring suitcases of dates with him from his family farm. And let me just tell you, if you've never had a date from that corner of the world, in like a vacuum sealed thing with all the syrup and everything. It's just out of this world. So we still have a great friendship with Aziz and his family, and but that's a really great memory over the last 5 or plus years that we got to meet him and get to try his dates. So
how did we decide to rewrite the lyrics for that about him? I don't remember.
So we thought in general, it had kind of a Middle Eastern tone to the harmonies, I think, or the chords.
That's right.
And then we're like, we should save this song for Aziz, like after he goes back home. And then finally, so we sat on that song for 2 or 3 years, I think. And then out of the blue, or we had enough time to do it, maybe it was this summer, we were able to rewrite the lyrics. So that was my number 7.
All right, so my number 7 is Downtown. And that was super blast. I'll never forget. It's in my hometown, Wilmore, Kentucky.
Yeah.
And it's a very small college town, and I didn't appreciate it when I was growing up. The fact that I could just roam everywhere and be generally safe. But I grew up right next to the downtown that you see in the footage, and we had so much fun with that. My dad got to make an appearance in one of the verses, and we just had a blast. And it's ironic, it's a very small downtown.
We filmed on a Sunday, and nothing was open that day, and so it was a little rainy also. So this song sounds sunshiny, and the open signs are out. No, it was we were totally being very sarcastic in the video, and it was very fun to do.
We got to like dance in the streets, and
then we were also like experimenting with the video software, so you'll see a lot of downtown, little like
that was
moments.
your idea.
So a lot of the sketch comedy ideas coming through there. So very good. So that was your number 7?
Yeah.
All right, my number 6. It's my party and I'll cry if I want to. It's just a really fun tune, and Laura did a great job with that song. That was definitely on our list. I had to do that, and that was at a party that we had recently, and that was the rock band that we had, the Quantum Leapers, covered that one. So we talked about that one a little earlier.
Yeah, that was really special for me because like with you and Judy, and she was your ukulele student.
We also sat on that song for 3 or 4 years. We knew what we wanted to do, but we had to wait for the right moment to get it done. So
yeah, I really wanted to be at a skating rink playing the bass and singing, but it just didn't work out. Maybe for another tune.
Yeah.
My number 6 is actually the one that frustrated him the most video editing wise, and that's ukuleles are the best. I just think that was quite a feat. And speaking of feet, you see my ukulele socks and feet like behind John. I was like, I just have to do that. That sounds fun.
I wonder if anybody caught that Easter egg. So.
But I was also in pain from the position I was in.
Yes.
It was worth it. And I just loved like the creativity behind that. I'm like, John, this is like 2 lines. What are you going to do with it to make it a little more special? And, it turned into many, many hours of editing. But that's what I love about the project is like, okay, what can I do with this that's unique?
That's right.
So that's why I made my list.
Okay, so my number 5 was Downtown. So we're pretty close. But yeah, I liked Downtown a lot. That was a really good memory and a chance to be creative. So
cool.
Yep.
My number 5 is A Hard Day's Night. And I think I put that as 5 because like to be able to cover every single part and to be in costume and your voice sounds good and it's better than good, you know what I mean? You just all around sound amazing on that one. And that's probably one of my favorite Beatles songs. It must be that cowbell or something.
Yeah. I remember spending a couple of hours, don't laugh too hard, on the first chord. Figuring out how I was going to do that sound. Because if you can look it up, and there's a rabbit hole you can go down on how they decided to make that sound. And then learning how to do the sound, include ukulele, and then transpose it and see if it sounds good. That was a challenge. So that moment where it just hits and then it kind of fades out, Yeah, that took a while, and then after that, it was pretty easy to figure out. Of course, I had a lot of fun with the cowbell. I had recently got a cowbell.
Oh, yeah, and you were walking different directions
That's right.
with it.
So it was fun to include the cowbell in the video too. So.
And the solo, like, recording at half speed, and I enjoyed that.
Yeah. All right, so my number 4 is Under the Boardwalk. We talked a lot about that video before, and just kind of a culmination of all things just clicking into place for us. So one of my absolute favorite videos, Under the Boardwalk. Yeah.
Mine too,
Yay!
number 4. And there's several reasons, like being on location for that one. Of course, you covered everything. I might have recorded the bass. I mean, I'm playing the bass in the video, but I can't remember if it's actually me on the
pretty sure
audio. Just like, I don't know, it's romantic, it's sunny out, and like just it was beautiful, and really special memory on that one. And even just doing the carousel with Lucas and putting that, like, just very specific things that I wanted to be in there. We finally got to put that together.
Yeah. You get to live the songs. So the things that are the lyrics we'll put in there. So.
And I think, like, for me on this list, it had to have drums to, like, really make the top. Mm-hmm. So the ones that have percussion in it really mean a lot to me. It's more exciting.
My number 3 is Help. We talked about Help before. So yeah, definitely one of my favorite videos, and I will never forget making that. And then every time I watch it, I get to relive that. So yeah.
My number 3 is actually Cabaret.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, it's one of our earlier ones, but like I said, it's like doing songs like that has forced me to get comfortable with singing, and that's something I would never do in front of someone else in the past. So
you've really improved by doing it.
Yeah, I've been taking some vocal lessons, and again, I'm not a pro, but I'm learning how to use my voice and be confident, and it's been a lot of fun. Yeah. But I love hats. And there were so many fun hats in that video, and just all the quick scene changes and the wine glasses clanging on the beat. Yeah. Just like, and I didn't really know that song before we covered it, so I enjoyed that so much.
Nice. So my number 2 is California Dreamin'. So it could have been number 1 also, but California Dreamin' is my second one. And it was very, 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 very close to number 1. But there's a couple reasons why a different one took first place. So, but did you choose that also?
What was your favorite thing about California Dreamin'? Like, if you had to pick one thing, why did that make it?
The way that it sounds. I like the way that it came together, and we were just using GarageBand, and it was like, yeah, wow, that's pretty great for GarageBand. Mm-hmm. We didn't really know how to use any other digital audio programs at the time, and so I thought it turned out pretty well. So
yeah. Well, my number 2 was Henry VIII, and so I had to include this one. It was awesome. It was so much fun to make, but to see it come together was like, okay, and the costumes. Yeah. It also featured one of his best friends, Matt Pettigrew, and I know he had the costume too, and I just like you guys walking down those stairs. Yeah. It's awesome. Yeah. And just getting to try on the crowns there, that was so much fun. And I love the HENRY. Yeah. I don't know how you came up with that or were inspired by something, but that was an absolute blast. But I see that might have made your next.
And that's my number 1. So the reason that I'm going to put it number 1 is I'm much more of a visual person than even sound in my mind. So getting to do a lot of those visuals is why Henry VIII is my absolute favorite, because I got to, I had seen like playing cards at some point maybe of like different, middle age, characters bending themselves into different shapes, and I was like, I can do that. I can do the spell out the HENRY, and then, so just coming up with really creative visual things for that. The only thing I wish I would have done is have Matt, my squire or knight, like poison me or try to poison me, and then me discover it, and then that's why I kill him at the end of the video. Oh, I just gave away the ending, but there had to be a reason, and I didn't give a reason why I slayed him, but that was my favorite for sure.
Yeah. Well, my number 1, so it's interesting. your number 2 is my number 1, and that's California Dreamin'. And probably like being able to do harmonies and the flute, that was pretty exciting. And using the space where we have our music studio at the church, it was just perfect, where you walk in the front. And I really enjoyed learning that flute solo. I mean, I'm not...
It's better than the original.
No.
It's much better.
So I played flute in high school, like through 9th grade, and then I just, barely played after that. But it's a fun instrument to kind of keep up in my fingers, and so I don't know how it sounded so good. I think it was luck, because I don't practice.
I think it was more in tune also than the original. So it sounded like they weren't comfortable and they probably did a quick take, but Laura did a great job on that. So.
Thanks. Yeah, really. And just like the bathtub scene, that was so random. Like, oh, our bathtub's so gross, but okay, let's put it in there. Yeah. It's an old cast iron tub, which is the best, but it's hard to make.
Really quick, perfect. Honorable mention that I had that didn't quite make the list was Rocky Top. Going back, that was just a really, really fun video. It was just silly. And
really?
We were in Rocky Top, Tennessee. And I just like silly songs that have funny lyrics, and that was one of them. On our way down through Tennessee, we did that one. And I guess another honorable one for me would be Pomp and Circumstance. Yeah. Getting to put in every video, a snapshot of every video that we had done all the way through. It's a really good way to kind of remember that process going through.
Yeah, so, for sure.
Yeah.
So we wanted to formally introduce you to Sam.
And Mary.
These are our pups.
They've been in some of our videos, and Mary's only about 1.5 years, so she's the young pup, even though she's much bigger than Sam.
Yeah, Sam's the OG. But he's a Shih Tzu Maltese.
And she is a golden doodle, but a black golden doodle, like a standard one. So, but we like to include them in their videos, and a lot of fun. These pups. So.
Yeah, they get to hear a lot of music around here, and they'll just lay down and relax. So
I just want to say thank you to Laura for being the producer, director, all the instruments that I don't know how to play or that I wouldn't be able to play. I just want to give her a really big thank you. And she had the idea for this. I thought it was a really great way to wrap up the Daily Ukulele Yellow Songbook.
What are the next steps, John?
Right.
What are you doing now?
So the next steps, we talked about this, and I actually questioned the Daily Ukulele Facebook group. And you all said that you wanted me to cover this book. So this one's going to be coming next. And I'm doing about 2 songs per week. I have some that I had already completed. So I am putting the tabs up on my Patreon now. And so there will be tabs for each song. It'll have the melody. And then I went and I put in the notes that you'd play on the neck of the ukulele. If you're not fond of singing, or you just want to be able to play the melodies on the ukulele neck, you'll be able to do that. The format for my videos, when I start making them, again, will be I'll go through the song once, and then on the second time, I'll probably play the melody on the uke, and then the third time, I'll do one more playthrough, singing through. So I'll try to get more songs tabbed out for you guys, because you also ordered for that. Those are the top 2 things that you wanted to see from the channel. So go ahead and check out my Patreon. It's just patreon.com/ukecafe. And you can get all the printables for $3 a month at this point in 2026. There's a few other things that you'll see on there too. So. And
don't forget to follow and like John's Ukulele Cafe on Facebook.
The page,
because sometimes there's, that's where we kind of put what's going on, and not always a video, but like where we're playing. And join the Facebook group. I think it's Daily Ukulele 365?
Yeah, Daily Ukulele like 365 group by John's Ukulele Cafe. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I might even make an audio version of this, so if you're traveling and you don't want to turn on YouTube or something like that, you'll be able to hear the audio version of this, or you're listening to it right now. So
thanks for the opportunity to interview you, and this is my office.
Yeah. We're like, it would be so nice if we were able to keep it this minimalistic for all times.
Usually there's a sauna right there, and it was just too ugly for the video. So
it's usually not possible. You just have to live in your space. But
Yeah. We look forward to more collaborations and
more creative opportunities.
And in the comments, please let us know what your favorite videos from the Yellow Book have been.
Yeah, or what your favorite blue song coming up will be. So, cool. Well, I've been John with John's Ukulele Cafe. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe in the bottom corner there. You can catch many more daily ukulele videos and interviews and different reviews too. I've done a couple of those in the past, and maybe we'll do more of those in the future also.
And I'm Laura, John's wife and creative partner.
Yes. Well, thank you and have a great day. Happy strumming. Bye-bye.